Okay. Alright. Been doing videos now. This one is kind of a follow-up on the last one I did. Um, which was a prophecy that a lot of our leaders are going to be taken away from us. The leaders just going to die from just natural causes, just the way they've always been dying. However, it's going to be significantly noticeable because of it's going to be church leaders. It's going to be specifically church leaders that are going to be dying. And it's going to be forcing church members to step up and be responsible for the church, responsible for themselves, responsible for decisions, and taking a stand for the things of God. Um, Springfield, Massachusetts, uh, it is my belief, Springfield, Massachusetts, is chosen by God as an example for what God is going to do on an overall scale. On a small scale, what you're going to see here is going to be happening on a large scale other places. So there may be other cities that will be chosen like Springfield. The one word that God gave me I know it's from God is the word Nineveh, and the word Nineveh um, refers to the city in the Bible that was told 40 days and you're going to be destroyed. And Jonah came and preached to them 40 days you're going to be destroyed. And they were not destroyed because they repented, and that was because the king made a declaration and said, let's see if maybe we can turn this God's mind from destroying us. And so he declared a fast, and they began fasting and praying, and even the animals fasted and prayed, and God uh, stayed his hand and did not destroy them. So I believe that Springfield, like the world, like whatever other cities God chooses to turn into the modern day Ninevehs, will, at the end of this 7 years campaign, have to make a choice. Will have made their choice, actually, at the end of 7 years, will have made their choice whether or not they're going to be righteous or whether or not they're going to continue on wickedness. At this point, I believe they're turning. The first year of the 7 year campaign began with Trust Jesus, and the second year was Pray Daily, and this year is Read Your Bible. And so the emphasis for Springfield is reading your Bible. And ironically, today my father, who has been through surgeries and usually is very docile and content, today he wanted to read his Bible, and I asked him to read out loud, and he was reading in Genesis, and so even he feels compelled to read his Bible. Young people that I know that are not professing salvation, not professing, they do profess salvation. I take that back. They profess salvation, but they're not living as the church, the established religious organizations would have them to live. Living with their boyfriends, still living in sin, still going out partying, drinking, smoking, all this kind of stuff. And yet they have a desire to do something righteous, read their Bible. Um, they are still showing goodness and kindness to each other. They desire healthy relationships. They want to get married, those types of things. However, the men they want to marry are a sad disappointment. The reason why the church is the way it is because the church has been um, traditionally run by women, and I mean that as no slight to the women. It's just out of order. God has an order, and He ordained for men to be the leaders. And the head of the man is supposed to be Christ, and the head of the woman is the man. The man is quick to say, "I'm the head of the woman. I'm the head of the woman," but he's totally neglecting that God is supposed to be his head. So, what woman wants a headless man? You know, it's ridiculous, and so they've been settling for all these headless men, And this is the result. You have baby daddy, baby mama all over the world. You have people who don't want to get married. You have people uh, getting divorced and all that. Why? Because the men are headless. They think that money is power, and they think that position is power, and a good job and a good name. And yet now you're seeing people with no jobs, and people with no money, and they're unable to provide for each other, and they're turning to selling drugs and all these things. Why? Because they've rejected the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who gives us the power to get wealth, gives us the ability to get wealth, and gives us our jobs are never going to be sufficient for us to survive on. We're supposed to survive on the love that we have one for another, meaning that I should look out for my brother, and my brother should look out for me. If I don't have enough, you know, someone makes up the difference. If someone else doesn't have enough, I make up the difference. You know, the church is supposed to be a storehouse. It's supposed to be a storehouse of wealth, not just money. We put so much emphasis and focus on money that we missed out on the fact that sometimes you need somebody to help you move. You need somebody to help you fix a sink, or move a refrigerator, or move a piano, or something like that. So we need friendship. A friend of mine who made a CD wrote a song called "Seek a Friend Before You Need a Friend," and I believe that you need to seek a friend before you need a friend. You need to have friends that you can call on and say, "Hey, I'm moving and I need some help," or I was in a car accident. I'm unable to do this anymore, so I need someone else to do this for me. If I wasn't hurt, I would do it myself. But since I am hurt, I need someone to volunteer to help me. And that doesn't happen anymore. That's stuff that's supposed to be stored up in the church. Strength, money, resources. If you've got a wealth of power tools and skills on how to fix things, and your friends who have bought houses and they don't have money to fix their house up. They don't have money. I mean, they have to put their name in a pool and hope they get on that, whatever that show is, where they give you a new house. It shouldn't be like that. The church should be providing for the widows who own homes, and their husbands die, and there's no one there to go in and fix the home, and the church should be fixing those things. That's the mission of the church, and we are failing. We're failing. We have failed. So part of for Springfield, read your Bible. Read your Bible is this year's theme, and we need to be doing God's will and doing God's work. Trust Jesus, pray daily, read your Bible. Next year is go to church. So this year is not go to church. This year is, read your Bible. So the focus this year is not on collecting together to be together. Now it's about being in the same mind. We need to all be of the same mind. And the only way we're going to know the mind of Christ is to study Christ. So we need to open our Bibles and study Christ.